We chose to do our ethnography on nomadic American culture in Berkeley mostly, with our focus in People's Park.
Although there's an almost overwhelming amount of diversity within American nomadic culture due to individual backgrounds and personal reasons for becoming nomadic and traveling in the first place, they share the commonality of being houseless and the general disregard for social norms, renouncing the status quo. So, enjoy.
I met a boy, fell in love, ended up living under a bridge with him for about 6 months, and started traveling after that.
I was getting beat at home by my brother and stuff like that. He was robbing my mom for welfare money to get cocaine. Plus, I was in a lot of joint gangs, and I lived in a gang-infested neighborhood, so I just ready to start traveling. At first, I was stealing cars, but then I'd end up getting busted and winding up back in LAYA. So that was just like I wasn't going anywhere at that rate. So I started hopping trains here and there. The Culver Yard was right outside my neighborhood, so that was like that's a regular stomping ground for most people that do any kind of road traveling.
Bigger than I would like to admit, I guess. It's probably a good portion of my day.
Drugs and or alcohol have no part really in my life. It used to be a major part of my life where I spend every waking hour trying to stay high. No longer applicable.
Yeah, I would have to say predominantly that, because of the severity of my habit in particular, that the orientation of my day tends to be organized around getting high.
How about like the scope of your community?
The scope of my community? I mean, are you talking within my social network or as in general public?
No, fuck the general public. I'm talking about your personal community.
Which seems to be the only serious function in my particular situation is that people that are like more or less misgiven to the situation, I could tend to be a guide away from the situation more or less.
Everybody just likes to get fucked up. There's nothing that brings a group of people together quite like a space bag.
To New York, we work a motherfucking law. It don't matter the color of your skin, as long as you don't scared of this commit no sin to me or my tribe. Moving up and wide, time to spend like I know, open up your fucking eyes. Step back and keep your attitude in check. He's a Color City, much respect. Color City, are you ready to stop? The rotten blue man is just a kiss of Color City.
A lot of them are elitist books that are survive like communist-wise, but there's a lot of people that are fucking just like, oh, you travel? Well, that's great. What do you do? And they don't care how you do. But then you get some of those kids, it's like, you don't fit in unless you look like this guy. I dress like a bum, but they dress like some sort of hardcore bum.
Not as much of a sense of community as I feel like there should be amongst traveling kids. Especially in this area, in the Berkeley area, it seems like all the traveling kids have their like little clique that they hang out with, and then everybody else, I don't know, it's weird.
Have you seen differences in other areas?
Oh yeah, definitely. I've definitely been to places where as soon as you roll into town, people see your backpack and they're like, you, come here, come drink a beer with us, we love you.
So the biggest threat to your lifestyle?
Limitations of narrow-minded people and the obscure views of people that have no experience in this particular thing.
Pickup trucks, interstate, freight trains, alcohol, cops.
Honestly, I'd like to say that the biggest threat is the police.
Fuck the police.
Probably honestly not the police. I think it's actually other street kids that have no respect at all for anyone or anything and trash the place, act like assholes, start fights, and that's probably the reason why the cops are so much faster to us than they are, is because there's been kids that have come before us that have ruined everything for everyone else.
It's close at arm's reach, for the sake that everybody's family, within this situation, but
it's probably whether you like to drink, or whether you like to do speed, or whether you like hallucinogens, or smoking weed, or whatever. There's a lot of that.
Based on drugs.
Well, yeah, and then there's also like the train hoppers and the hitchhikers, and then the kids that rubber tramp it, have their own vehicle and stuff. And,
have no place in this society at all. In reality, any one of us could be one of your brothers, older sisters, your dad, that they're misjudging us as scum of the earth. I just want them to see us as real people.
Are you happy? Absolutely, I am. Yeah, it took giving up everything that I had to realize how much I have without anything.
Yeah.
And I've never been happier in my entire life. Yeah. I love it. Yeah, I'm absolutely homeless by choice. I could be living in a house right now if I wanted to, but I don't want to. There's a freedom that comes with this way of living that you just can't get any other way.